From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. Well, a scary situation unfolded for about 70 skiers this week in upstate New York after they became stranded in the gondola cabins, ferrying them up Gore Mountain on Wednesday. The ski resort is located in North Creek, New York, and the Northwoods gondola experienced a mechanical issue, prompting a large-scale response to safely bring everybody back to the ground. Video captured by bystanders at Gore Mountain showed the cabins swaying slightly in the wind during the rescue. Winds were between 5 and 20 miles per hour, with temperatures around 22 on Wednesday, and AccuWeather real field temperatures in the teens. Now, no injuries were reported, and the Northwoods gondola reopened Thursday, with officials saying the issue was caused by a mechanical alignment problem. Now, it's kind of a good thing that it happened on Wednesday when you consider that the weather this weekend is brutally cold in the area. AccuWeather's Jonathan Porter delivered some harsh news for those in the Northeast, saying the deep freeze has returned this weekend. The combination of Arctic air and gusty winds could make it feel colder than any other point so far this winter for many in the region. In short, it's going to feel painfully cold to be outside, even for just a few minutes. The blast of Arctic air is coming directly from the frozen tundra north of Hudson Bay, Canada, and it will bring dangerous conditions and yet another surge in energy demands to over 100 million utility customers in the northeastern part of the U.S. The Arctic blast this weekend is but part of a long-running bout of well below historical average temperatures. AccuWeather's Dan DePodwin said that in many parts of the Northeast, away from the coast, this prolonged stretch of cold is the most extreme in at least the last decade, and in some areas, the last 2 decades. Many locations will end up with a streak of days below freezing that falls into the top 10 longest such streaks on record. The leading edge of the Arctic air, or the front, will travel southeastward across the region into this afternoon. Almost immediately behind that front, harsh, gusty winds will pick up from the northwest. As the actual temperature plummets, so will the AccuWeather real field temperature, and it will head well below zero. The worst conditions in terms of wind and cold will be from the eastern part of the Great Lakes to the mid-Atlantic coast. In New England, the worst conditions will be from tonight into tomorrow, with real field temperatures dipping 10 to 20 degrees below zero in much of the Northeast. And in the coldest locations, such as over the ridges and along flat open land and lakeshore areas, real field temperatures could plummet to 25 to 40 degrees below zero for a period of time. Now, at that level, frostbite can set in quickly, and there is a high risk of hypothermia if not properly dressed. Those spending any time outdoors this weekend, including skiers, snowboarders, snowmobilers, taking advantage of some of the best snow conditions in years, well, you should know to use extreme caution. Much of the landscape along the frigid air's route is snow-covered and frozen, with the only large freshwater body without extensive ice being Lake Ontario. The extent of the ice has disrupted ferry service in some coastal metro areas and damaged fishing piers on some of the bays and along the Atlantic coast. Ice coverage will increase further this weekend. Conditions along and immediately behind the Arctic front will range from flurries to steady light snow to even heavy bursts of snow and snow squalls. A coating of under an inch of snow is expected across a wide area of the Northeast, from central Virginia all the way to northern Maine through this evening. Some of the heaviest snow, with an accumulation of 3 to 6 inches, will fall along the shores of Lake Ontario, the mountains in West Virginia, possibly in parts of southeastern New England, with the AccuWeather local storm max of around 10 inches. As the center of the Arctic air, or high pressure, slides over the Northeast Sunday, winds will ease a bit, but it will be frigid. Actual temperatures starting the day on Sunday will be well below zero over upstate New York and northern New England. Temperatures will dip into the single digits as far south as southeastern Virginia early Sunday. Now, there is some good news, at least for those in the southeast states, as the core of this Arctic blast will focus up north. And there's some good news for all starting next week. Air originating from the Pacific Ocean will travel eastward across the nation during weeks 2 and 3 of February. That's all for now. You can find more regional forecasts and science-based articles at AccuWeather.com. And for your local forecast at your fingertips, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe. I'll be back on Monday with more from AccuWeather.